Welcome to Six's Word on the Curve, sponsored by LMTV.
What we're not doing is shutting down the curb. This is how we get the news. This is how we get the 411, the T. All right. What's up, my curvesters? We is at it again today. We got the panel on deck. Let me go ahead and stop sharing it so you guys can see who we working with today. We got Shawn in the building. We got Joy. We got Dr. J and Karen as our panelists for this topic discussion. If y'all didn't catch it, y'all should. But we are here to give y'all the tea on the bad boys of LA. I need to get a thing to know who is who so I can name the names and the pictures and stuff so y'all can see what we working with. Don't forget to tag some of your friends and let them know we live on the curb and we about to give y'all the tea that we saw, because there's a lot of tea in this first episode, which is what I was hoping for from the very beginning. Okay, ladies, you guys can come off of mute. I'm going to attempt to locate the cast members so that we can have a visual of what and who is who. Okay.
And it shouldn't have even been called the Bad Boys LA. It should have been called the Hot Mess Express. Okay, thank you. It was the Hot Mess.
It should have been called the Hot Mess Express.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, bloody Karen.
I agree, Karen. I agree.
Well, one of the main reasons why we were even trying to get involved with this whole thing was, one, because Andrew Caldwell, aka Delivered, was supposed to be on Bad Boys of LA. Okay. We'll get into that a little bit later. I don't want to even bring that up at the moment, but that's what we started off with. So once I'll be able to pull up the cast members so you can see who is who and get a visual of this whole situation, child, we'll be able to break everything down for you. So they said the cast members consist of Mulan Christopher, Jonathan Wright, Andrew Caldwell, Karen Franklin, which is Kirk Franklin's son, Relly B, Andrew Hernandez, Dylan Woods, Curtis Golden, Natalie Nunn, William the Baddest, Gutter K, Karan Devine, Rio Scott, and Moolah Mo. That is the name of all the members of the cast. And let me see here if I could just pull up this picture, child. This was a whole mess. And y'all know that Natalie is the producer or whatever of this show, and Zeus Network is ran by Ray J and Princess, right? Did I understand that correctly?
Oh, I'm not even sure.
I don't know if Ray J and Princess run the network. I think it's ran by somebody named Lemuel Plummer, but I do know that they are producers on a lot of these shows.
Okay, they are the producers of the show. All right. I just know every time they say executive producer, we see Ray J and Prince's name on the shit too. So just to be able to give you some of the updates. All right, so from the very beginning, let's start talking about it. no holds barred, because this was a whole situation. It started off with drama as soon as we came out of the gate. They were all just doing photo shoots. They haven't even got to the house yet. And it's a whole situation between Andrew Caldwell and Mulan Christopher, which you see on the page. This is Mulan.
No, it was Andrew versus like everybody else because he has a big mouth.
Right. But initially it was with Christopher, who he started off with, because Christopher was the one that was saying he was going to jump him. He was going to beat his ass. That's what he was saying. Right.
Yeah.
So y'all know who Andrew Caldwell is, but it was a whole situation. They got into a big old argument about what, pray tell, because initially he was saying that he was the baddest. So everybody was over there roasting each other, basically saying that, nah, y'all not the baddest, we the baddest, we the best. And Andrew started saying he was the baddest and y'all broke, trailer trash. Like he was over there saying a whole bunch of stuff to them. And they was like, we're gonna fuck you up. Basically, that's what.
Well, Milan said that Andrew was up in his DMs asking to perform certain favors on him.
Oh, that's true. And he called him out on that too, right? He called him out and was like, that ain't what you were saying. You was up in my DMs. And he kept saying, I'm delivered. Y'all are nasty. Why would I be in your DMs? Y'all are nasty. I'm delivered. Why would I be in your DMs, honey? That's not even me. That's not what I would do.
Dirty. You look
dirty.
I know.
He was calling them all dirty, that they looked cheap, that they were hookers and prostitutes.
Drew was doing the most. I don't know what was going on.
And then instead of saying gay, he was using a slur.
Yeah.
Right. He was using a slur. And the dude, Milan Christopher, wasn't having it. He was like, he gonna get him. He gonna get him. That's it. That's all that's going down. We gonna get him. So after they, redirected everything, then it was an altercation that took place. And I'm telling y'all, they was fighting right off the gate. There, like seriously, there was a fight right off. So after they got Andrew or whatever, situated or whatever he was doing, he basically towards the end he ran off. But then there started an altercation with the two guys who got the baddest in their name. So one of the guys who's called himself the baddest is this guy, 931 baddest or something. It was him. It was the guy called the one we know as the Money Resides guy. Him and another one that was called the baddest, which is William the baddest. So William the baddest and 931 baddest got into an altercation on the bus ride to the spot, to the location.
Another petty and stupid fight, but go on.
What was they fighting about? Oh,
who was the baddest white boy in the house? Lord.
Right, who was the baddest white boy?
Just ridiculous.
So
but then that Daryl, where the money resides, said if
he was instigating the fight.
Yeah, he was instigating, and if they didn't whoop each other's ass, he was gonna whoop both of their ass.
Right. And he was drunk. Okay. They were all on the bus having conversations about, who basically they was trying to find out who's straight, who's gay, who's bi, who's transsexual. And they was asking all of the questions and stuff on the bus. And then it got to the situation where the two that got the baddest in their names, which was stupid. They was up here saying, we're going to find out who the baddest or whatever anyway. Well, 931 baddest, he was the one that got off the bus that he was like ready to fight. And he was ready to fight the other baddest guy
William
over who's the baddest. Right, which was stupid. So they get off the bus and they have a little, air fight, meaning they was throwing swings and blows.
They wasn't connected. They
were not connected whatsoever. So This was just a whole situation. Um, who was the money reside guy when he
The
ended
Yeah,
up
where the
radio
money
child,
resides.
really.
where the
They
money
call him
reside, he
really.
basically told him if y'all don't fight, then
I'm whooping y'all ass.
right, I'm whooping both y'all behind. So they both got into it, and they were swinging and hitting air, and then the money resides gets in and pops 931 fattest all messed up in the face. His face is all scratched up.
Oh,
It's
really?
like he been in a brawl.
Really drunk as hell. Oh,
They was doing the most. So they ended up restraining the money resides guy. Because Natalie came out. So I know y'all remember Natalie from the baddest. What is the bad girls?
Bad Girls Club, Natalie Nunn, child.
Yeah, Natalie Nunn, the Bad Girls Club. She came out. She was like, literally, y'all already started, and we ain't even got to the house yet. I'm just coming out to try to, welcome y'all to the house and all of this other stuff. So she kind of had the money reside guy, contained to the bus.
Well, when did he
931.
hit the other dude then?
Right. Well, he did eventually had a fight with the other guy.
Oh, yeah.
He
With the
wanted to fight
Williams.
him to show it was equal ass whoopings going on.
Right, which was petty. And so a couple of the members ended up having a conversation with the money reside guy on the bus, like, why was you trying to bully him and stuff like that? You were acting like a bully, but he was drunk as a skunk. Like, they shouldn't even gave, well, I mean, y'all know we tuning in for the ratchetness, so they gave him liquor, but technically if they didn't want them to start immediately, they shouldn't have been offering liquor. Where did he get the liquor from anyway? Because I could see it on the bus.
Turn it up on that bus.
Oh no, he had a cup on the bus.
He had a cup on the bus, but I didn't see like it was nothing saying that it was liquor on the bus. Like, I didn't see anything.
Maybe at the photo shoot. I don't know, because he had
Maybe.
liquor on the bus.
Girl, they had liquor. They probably just don't show it. If you show any type of brand, you have to get clearance from that brand. So they probably just don't show it.
Right. So they eventually got into the house, and she basically told them that y'all need to find your own room. So of course everybody was trying to get the solo suites. Until the two that ended up getting into the fight, the two that got the baddest in their name, ended up in the same room together. That was hilarious. But this one right here, this character, the real gutter, what was the gutter K? This one right here was a whole mess, because he was the one trying to push up on when they was asking on the bus, what was Gutter K, what are you transsexual? And he was like, no, I'm not, I'm this, I'm da 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 da. I'm like, I'm a man, I'm the woman, I'm the dick, I'm the pussy. He was saying all of this stuff, and I was just like, okay, I guess they were trying to figure out what did he classify himself as. And so that was a little bit kind of crazy, because he was going off on the wall on that. And then when they started asking Kirk Franklin's son, what is he declined to say. Which was crazy, because that's when Gutter K, when they got
ridiculous. I thought that was ridiculous. Like, I like the old school. Why do you have to tell what you are? It's no one's business. It's no one's business. If he doesn't want to disclose his sexual orientation, if he doesn't want to disclose who he's intimate with, that's his business. As long as he, if he's honest when he goes into relationships, I think that's what's important. And I already see the direction that they're trying to take this in, and that's what I don't like. For me, I was like, yeah, this is too much. Like, too much.
I think they were just trying to find out who was who and get to know who was who on the bus. And because some of them.
But if you're not there, if the show is not about one's sexuality, then why does that matter? Like, if y'all are there to put on a show, then let's not bring up sexuality, because then when you start bringing it up, then when opinions start flying or things are said, then people's feelings are hurt. I feel like just don't talk about it. Or, if it's going to come up, if you choose to talk about it, then talk about it. But if others don't offer it, then don't ask them. Because that's how drama starts. And then it becomes messy and murky. And then it's like, then, homophobic slurs start flying. Or inaccurate accusations occur because of that. So it's like, don't ask about it. I don't go around telling people I'm straight or I'm gay or whatever. Like, that's nobody's business. Unless it's a show specifically for that, I don't think it should be a topic of discussion. Not initially.
Well, I would want to know. I ain't gonna lie. Honestly, look, if I'm staying in the house with you, I just want to know. That way I know. Like, I might whip my titties out or anything. You never know,
Well, I mean, okay, if you're asking if someone initially, if the conversation is put up there on the okay, who's gay or straight or whatever, okay, right. If you choose to answer it, fine. But then they kept pressuring or picking at the Kurt guy, like, so you slept with somebody, you did this, and he's clearly not comfortable talking about it yet. So then just let it go, like he has to talk about it or come out in his own time,
Yeah, I agree with that. You shouldn't force somebody to come out.
Right. No, I'm not saying that they should have forced it. I think to some degree it's good to have a conversation because some people go by pronouns. So if you keep calling this person he and they go by she or they have another name, that's information that you need to know so that you don't be, having somebody get pissed off at you because you keep calling them he and he's like, dude, I go by she. Or whatever.
But that's a different conversation, though. That's not what they had initially.
Right.
Like, it started off that way. Then it started going into.
They asked him, "What do you go by?" That's your clarification. They asked him, "What do you go by? Are you transgender? Are you she? Are you he? Are you male? Are you female?" Like they ran it all down to ask him what he was.
They did that to the boy that's on the picture right here.
Right, to this boy on the picture.
Right. I'm talking about Carry On. They didn't do that to Carry On.
No, but they asked him, was he straight or gay? I think, right?
Yeah. And he said,
I
prefer
him
not to
several
answer.
questions.
Right.
And they kept going.
Then he didn't want to answer it. They should have left it alone. They should have left it alone when he did not want to answer. And this right here is this Kirk Franklin's son?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is him. So they should have, when they asked him, they should have, and he said he didn't want to say nothing, they should have left it alone. But then eventually they did leave it alone and they went on to Gutter to ask Gutter what does he classify himself as. Hey, everybody, thanks for coming in. Hey, Nisha, I see you in the chat dial. We are discussing the Bad Boys LA that is shown on Zeus Network. Of course, you have to have a subscription in order to view this, and we're going over and giving y'all some tea on the first episode because it was a lot of hotmess.org. Okay. It was
the Hot Mess Express.
Hot Mess Express. Can I just say that Gutter K is my fave because Gutter K, the way that he talked, I don't know, is it he or she? She didn't say. Okay, I'm just gonna say Gutter K. Gutter K was like, and da 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 da. Like when she talks,
right.
cracks me up. Every time she going to explain the stuff, she be like, and da 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 da, and da 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 da. That stuff is hilarious to me. I was over here rolling.
Because even when Natalie came out the house or whatever, he was still doing like his little noises.
He was like, and ladies and gentlemen, Natalie, da 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 da. Has anybody got their fave so far that's on here? Anybody?
I think Gutter is it.
Not yet.
So far.
Yeah, my fave done quit already. So I'm still looking.
I feel like they used that to promote the show. I'm just low key. That's how I feel. I think the show would do well without Andrew. Yeah, but they definitely used Andrew to really push the start of the show. And if Andrew would not have come out on his own platform and told us that he was not in the show, permanently, we would have been thinking that he was a regular cast member.
Right. I think we would have thought he was a regular cast member, but not the star. There was too many people there that I know of to say that Andrew was the star. And Andrew himself was saying that he was the star, which I don't believe that. I think he thought he was the star in his head, but no.
Drew would think
no, I don't. I gotta give.
That's what he said. That's what Andrew said.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I do think that he's one of the hitters on the show. I don't really know most of the
he would have been.
I think he's one of the hitters, and I think he would have brought higher ratings to the show. I think now that he's off, the ratings are not going to be as high as they probably would have been if he would have stayed on.
So you think he would have been like the main character of the show? He's the highlight.
I don't know. I won't say that he's the main character, but his personality, he's going to be in everything. He made the first half of the show. And then it carried over to the end of the show. It was about Andrew. If Andrew wasn't there, we would not have had a juicy first show.
Okay, so let's get into what happened with Andrew. Since he was in the beginning of this show and then towards the end of it, and the whole altercation with him and the rest of the cast members was just a no-go. They were talking about jumping him. So after they got into their spat, and everybody was getting ready to leave the photo shoot to go over to the house. Everybody got on the bus except for Andrew. Nobody could find him. So the producers and stuff told Natalie that they have been calling him, but he wasn't answering, and they don't know where he is. They just know that he's not on the bus, right?
When they found Drew talk about, are y'all stalking me? I was like,
Drew ended up being at the airport. So they ended up going to the airport, and they were filming him sitting in a chair at the airport, and they were showing the other cast members at the house where Andrew was at. They were so petty on that note. I swear for God, like for real. Y'all got to view and show them what y'all was doing. But I mean, that's good because we was able to see where he was at. But he was like, he's not coming back to the house, and he made a phone call. Do you think that was his attorney he was talking to?
I was like, who he called? I thought he was calling the police.
Yeah.
I thought he had called the police at first. Like, I thought he called the police.
Yeah, I was like, Drew called the cops on the producers.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. I don't know what.
I'm sure Drew. Now, one thing I do know about Drew is that he will tussle. I done seen him have a couple of street fights now. He will tussle, but I don't.
Yep, because you showed me one in one time a video.
Yeah,
of him in a street fight.
But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how he could sit there and talk all that noise like he was doing and then leave. I'm like, Drew, why did you leave, sir?
Because he honestly thinks he was better than the rest of the guys in the house.
Well, he took that $11,000 and left.
They said you tried to cash the check. Now that's what they were saying to him in the airport. They said, you were trying to cash the check. And he was like, that was yesterday.
He was trying to cash that check fast. Okay, fast.
It's a whole mess. Drew say, run me my coin.
Look, he earned them little $11,000 for that little show. He earned
That's
that.
what I'm saying, is that he earned that money.
But the cast member says, stop that check, put a stop on that check, because he didn't even come to the house. How was he supposed to get 11? Now, I will say he deserves some of it. I don't think he deserves 11.
He deserves some. Yeah,
some, not all of it. Not all of it.
Yeah, they should have cut that in half, but
nah, give him about 3/4 because they a good 3/4 of that show was about Andrew.
Drew. Yeah, I was really looking forward to seeing Drew outside of social media because I was telling them earlier, I wanted to see if all of what he be doing on social media is an act, like mispronouncing words intentionally and preaching.
It's an act. It's an act because he put them sentences together with them cuss words perfectly fine on that show today. So it's an act. That's why I say people think he's slow. I think he is touched. But he not that touched because he knows how to put on for the camera.
He definitely do, and he know how to make his coin.
And that he does.
Let me just say this:
out of all of that touched, as you said,
out of all of the people that was on there, Drew don't seem to have money runneth over as much as some of them other cast members on there. Because when he said what he did, that list was short. It was short like the Money Reside guy. So
he might not
Say that
have that
again?
much. Who knows what he's doing? But I will say, don't underestimate, because people get paid a lot through Facebook, and Facebook makes you sign a contract where you cannot tell how much you get paid. But I know personally, people make thousands and thousands of dollars just going live on
I
Facebook.
guarantee.
So
I believe that
he might
makes
got a bag that people don't know about, and he's just not under a contract. He cannot disclose that.
I'm not saying that he don't make money
showed
on
us
Facebook.
his,
I know that he makes money on Facebook and Instagram. I know that. He
a
has a
couple
lot
of
of
years
followers.
ago. Sorry, a couple of years ago, he did show us. Was it a check from
Mhm.
Facebook or
A
something?
couple of checks. Mhm.
Yeah, one was like, I know one was like 13,000. One was like 15. I just remember him going to the bank and he was showing his checks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, Drew be making his coin now.
Yeah, I believe
And
that
with
Drew makes money.
him supposedly living in the senior citizens house, he probably don't have to pay that much in rent. So that's why he can use the rest of that money to buy his designer stuff.
Oh,
He
God.
pays Joy because the usher board had posted, you know, when he was going to get evicted, they posted how much he owed. It was like $8,000.
Mm-hmm.
So Drew paying a little coin for that apartment, or whoever paid. They were saying, you know, the rumors are that somebody was paying it for him.
And it could be.
And they ran into difficulties and weren't able to pay it. But he's still in that apartment. Drew got to take
his grandma looking apartment. Yeah.
Girl, he be having his light pictures and pictures.
The table be set.
Girl, yes.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, the money reside guy is messy boots. Okay, he was the instigator of the whole thing. He started the whole mess between the two white cast members that was on here that had baddest in their name. So the 931 baddest and William the baddest that got into the fight. He instigated that whole thing and started swinging on both of them after he started the whole
But we wouldn't have stayed watching if it would have been like all copacetic when they went in the house. That was some funny shit.
I would have. It was too much for me. I stayed on because we was in there watching together.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was too much to process. The camera was flying left, right, north, south, east, west. I'm like, dang, this is too. It's overload. It was too much for me. I couldn't take it.
That was a lot.
To me, it's some funny shit because them two white boys were like just windmilling it, like not hitting nothing, and then he tackled the one in the bushes. It was some funny shit. I'm sorry. It was funny
in a way that, like, some of this stuff I feel is a little bit staged, because well, maybe not, but I'm like, who in the world sit up there and fight and don't even hit each other? I'm like, what in the world?
And then Milan and the boy, remember they were fighting. The next thing, when you know, they standing close to each other watching the video about Andrew. I'm like, how y'all fight like that? And then y'all standing all calm next to each other.
Yeah, that's what made me be like, I don't know.
It's staged. I feel like it's staged.
I don't know. And a lot of guys do that though.
I think that they chop and screw stuff up and put it in certain places, because I think that ideally that part where they were showing about Andrew was actually before the fight really started. So you just got to look at how they chop and screw these the film and stuff up, because remember, Milan got into the fight with Homeboy at the, you know, towards like the end before they showed us the scenes for the next week. These two got into it standing next to each other. He threw a drink on him.
Yeah, editing, I'm sure does have something to do with it, but I don't know. I'm here for the fights.
Yeah, but Daryl was whatever, money reside, whatever. Wait a minute, McKenna. He was doing too much. Like, so you just it just seemed like, y'all remember back in grade school when, you know, two people want to fight but they scared to fight, and they be like, you go, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna count to 5.
You push them into each other to make them start fighting.
Right. I mean, I was like, this is like high school, you know. I mean, not even high school, grade school.
Excuse me,
and that's what the money reside guy was doing. He was over there counting down 5, 4. Y'all get ready to fight. 5, 4. He kept counting down the fight. Like, it was just crazy. Hey,
Sounding like
everybody.
somebody's grandma. If y'all don't fight, I'ma beat y'all asses. Sir, you can't make these people fight. But apparently he could. You know.
Obviously, he was pulling some strings because that was
But
crazy.
they were saying it was giving bullying. I think so. You know, now what do y'all think about that scene where, you know, the straight guy was in his room and he was asking them or telling them they needed to get out? Do y'all think that was, what did y'all think about that?
What was the straight guy's name?
Girl, who you telling?
Is it this character here? No, not Kirk Franklin's
No.
son. You talking about this guy here?
No,
Curtis
he
Golden?
was in there. He was in there, but it was the other one. He was in there, but it wasn't his room. He wasn't the one laying on the bed. Keep going.
Yeah.
Girl, that ain't him. His name was
Why is-
Mo. He must go come to take Andrew's space or something. Him right there. That's him. Moolah Mo.
Moolah?
Yeah, that's him.
Moolah Mo. He was in there with who?
He was in there with the other guy, the straight guy. He was the
Oh,
one there.
okay.
He was
Yeah,
with
the
other
two straight guys.
It was Gutter and then the one that fought with Milan over the room, which was stupid as hell too. Okay, so.
And yeah, Moolah was on the bed and he was saying this was his room and he was like, he didn't want to talk to nobody except for the other straight guy. He wanted everybody else out to move, get out the room.
Yeah.
But they weren't even hitting on him.
They weren't.
I wasn't even thinking about his ass. I don't even know why he said that. What was the whole point of saying that?
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I'm like, look, you know, if somebody has a room, if they want you out, just leave. I don't know if it was appropriate the way he said it, but respect people's space.
I mean,
But they all
check
just were
him.
picking rooms too. It wasn't like he was all moved in and they've been there for a while. Like, everybody was still looking for rooms.
Right.
Yeah, but that room was claimed now. When he laid on
Well-
the bed and said, this mine, it's one bed in there. If he asked you to leave, step out. Unless you were trying to say, I want this room too, let's fight or something. But
No, and I get that. But there's the way he said it though, because he's like, oh, I could talk to the other straight guy.
yeah, I
Meaning-
didn't get that either. I didn't. I truly
Meaning the
didn't.
two gay people, like he obviously has a problem.
That's what I was
Right.
saying. I feel like they're trying to spin it into something else and make it like a
Homophobic
gay
thing going
versus-
on or something.
And I
Yeah.
don't know how, because shit, the whole cast gay. It's crazy.
But and I think so in part, I think it's two things. Like from the straight dude side, I'm like, listen, if you're not gay, then don't worry about it. You know, don't be uncomfortable.
Right.
You know, you don't have to do that. But then on the opposite side, you think about, okay, nowadays people will like take stuff and flip it, turn it, make it something that it's not. So maybe, you know, it has them a little bit more cautious, like, hey, no, I ain't playing like that. I don't want nothing to be said or done or interpreted. So you got to get out.
I mean, the way he talked to
Take it both
them,
ways.
yeah, it was inappropriate, but I also think you have to let people be where they are. Don't impose yourself upon somebody. Even though he's there, if he's asking you to leave his room, just go and y'all can have a conversation later. It ain't something I would argue about, but you know, that's just me.
Yeah, well, and they didn't really argue, which was good.
Yeah.
No, but him and the other guy that got into it with the big buff one, I forgot his name. Milan. He got into it with him. They had an argument. They was arguing back and forth because he asked him. He was like, "Well, wait a minute. Oh, because he's straight. That's the only reason why you want to talk to him. Like, what is you fear us or something? Remember, he was saying something like that. Like, what you scared of us or something?" And he was like, "I'm not scared of y'all." He was like, I said what I said or whatever. Like, they got into a big old argument about that.
Yeah, that was because of him being in the room. He was like, he didn't want, you know, the gay dudes to be in a room with him. And that's what I was saying. Like, you know, I could see I'm looking at it from both sides. Like if you're not gay and you straight, they should not make you uncomfortable.
You know what I'm saying? You should not feel like they're gonna push up on you. But then I also see it from the other perspective, is you don't know. Nowadays people try to say stuff that's not true or put something out on you and say that you are and flip it. So I could see him being kind of guarded too, especially when you living in a house with, you know, men with different sexualities. They could take and pick pictures, screenshot stuff, make it into something that is not true. So you never know, you know.
I mean, and then after the day that they have and with all the drama, he probably wanted to relax with somebody that he could completely be comfortable with. He should have said it in a different way. Can I just chill? I'll check with y'all later. You know, let me holler at my boy. That would have been that.
Now, keep in mind too, y'all, I think that's the one that did do a little time. So,
oh yeah, he did do 5
you know,
years.
you got to keep in mind when you do time, it's a different vibe. It's a different energy that they give off. It's, you know, it's like, no, you got to be straight up from the gate. So I'm thinking maybe that's why he's the way he is. I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I'm gonna tune in next week is all I got to say.
If y'all looking for some ratchet ghetto stuff, this is it. I mean, like when I say I was ready for this to come out for the whole week, that's all I've been talking about was Ratchet TV, and I couldn't wait until this come out. And I'm gonna tell y'all, they gave me Ratchet in the first episode, and I was content. This whole situation, like I thought it was gonna be something totally different. Like if they weren't gonna give me, you know, the real ratchetness of everything, I was gonna be highly upset. Because y'all already know Jocelyn Hernandez show is actually the #1 on Zeus, and she be having a whole bunch of ratchet stuff on her stuff. So if you are into looking for some ratchet stuff, this is something else to add to your repertoire. I'm a little disappointed that Andrew is not going to be on there, but he was scared. He was scared for his life because they said that they was going to beat his ass.
Y'all got him messed up.
He said y'all was not coming for him. He is not doing it. But even though the other two, the two white cast members that was there, you know, one of them, 931 Baddest, was scared to come out because he thought he was finna get jumped too when they had the altercation with him, the Money Reside guy, and then the other, William the Baddest. So I mean, they got past it. You don't think that Andrew would have been able to be in the house and get past that whole situation?
No, because he was talking too much shit, girl.
Andrew reminds me of Kenya. Andrew reminds me of Kenya. He's gonna run his mouth and give you good ratings and stir up stuff, but he don't want to throw hands. You know, that's Kenya. Kenya gonna stir the pot. She gonna give you good, you know, messy, whatever, but she not trying to, you know, she not trying to go there.
Love to see it. Damn,
yeah, but I don't think Andrew wanted to even like get to know these people, like on any level. So if you can't even like have a conversation with anybody in the house and they all don't like you, like, yeah, he had to leave.
I was thinking that, Karen. I was like, Drew might just need one friend in the house.
But who would have been friends with Drew?
Nobody.
That's the thing. I don't think nobody really wanted or care for Drew like that.
I don't think they automatically came in with something against Andrew. Andrew, the one was there. Like, he could have been friends with them white guys, but he was calling them trailer park trash and behind the scenes.
He was using slurs against everybody.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, they say Drew was calling them people crackers, honky. He was, you know, doing the most. You can't be doing all that.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look for him at all. On the show. I think really, I really do believe that he's there to give, you know, good ratings. I don't think they disclosed to them when they signed up who was fully going to be on the cast and what to expect. And I think when he got there, he saw like, oh no, they real, they gonna fight, you know.
And then
he's like, nah, that's not for me.
I don't think he wanted to be affiliated with all those gay people.
I agree. I thought the same thing.
Scared.
But why? I mean,
because he delivered.
But that don't mean you can't be around them because you claiming that you're no longer like them.
Well, he views it as a sin. I was just on his live today, and Drew say God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
But you are saying that
too. If you struggling with that, if you struggling with that, I think you know you can't. That's like someone that is a former addict. You know, like they're gonna stay away from anything that might pull them back in. And if he's struggling with his sexuality, you can't put him in a house full of gay men. Like, it's over.
Yeah, that's
Well, because you don't get over being gay. I'm sorry.
I was going to say that, Karen. Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe he's delivered either. I'll be honest with you. I don't believe he's delivered, but I do believe he's still trying to portray that image out there. He still is. He's still trying to put it out.
I just don't like how he doesn't like when people are judgmental against him, and he went on there being the biggest bitch.
Ooh.
I agree with everything Karen said, minus the B word. Minus the cuss word. I think he's a hypocrite in that he doesn't want people calling him out, but
he's a hypocrite. And also, I don't think he's learned how to express himself without feeling like he needs to degrade somebody else.
Well, I think that's insecurities within himself.
And I know Andrew gets harassed through like text messages and probably emails or whatever to his page and whatnot, private messages. And I don't like that either, because I don't think that's cool at all to harass people.
Yeah.
Right.
But he can't go on a show and talk crap to everybody.
Yep. Using all kind of slurs and stuff.
It's not right either way.
Right.
Yeah.
Either way, you can't do that. I mean, well, I guess that's why he left.
I really do kind of low-key think though that he was brought there to stir the pot. And I don't think he realized like, hey, you can stir the pot, but this is different from other reality shows that you might be sitting at home watching that, the security guards actually protect you. Zeus Network, let them fight. Like
they'll break it up after a few.
They'll let them fight and then give them a couple minutes or, then they break it up. I don't think Andrew was ready.
No, but he's watched the Real Housewives. He's always talking about them. Like, hello,
yeah, but if you watch the Real Housewives and compare it to any show on
Portia
Zeus, they're different. She dragged her a couple times. That was the only fight that you saw like that. They are very adamant about stepping in.
Oh no, they are.
And,
but I mean, but most of them, it's as soon as the bodyguards get there, they're gonna pull you apart.
Well, Drew said he wasn't getting none of that. Y'all wasn't about to get him caught up now.
Well, you know what? He should. I mean, I don't believe, in my own opinion, since we know how Zeus Network is, that he did not believe that he wasn't going to be getting into some altercations with them. Like, that's totally clueless if you thought that, because Zeus, that's one of the main reasons why people be wanting to tune in for the ratchetness, because they show everything. How can you be on a network or something like that and then think like the whole time he was hiding behind the bodyguards when he was over there talking stuff? Like, why you have?
I don't think Andrew really watches Zeus like that. I think he's more of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, he's that kind of. That's what he was thinking when he came and he saw, no, this is like ghetto. This is bottom of the barrel kind of thing. He's like, oh no, I'm not cut for this.
I think so, Dr. J.
I think what happened is, I think he thought that, like you said, like the Real Housewives, where he could go in there and talk all the shit he want, but wasn't nobody going to actually touch him because, like on those other shows, the Housewives and stuff, they have people there and they don't tolerate that. They might get a slip every now and then, but with this show, they letting them fight. So he probably saw that he wasn't going to be protected, and he thought, oh, hell no. I don't talk too much shit. I got to go now.
I ain't going in there. But Jerron says she's in Facebook jail, so she can't comment. But she said Andrew was uncomfortable because his little Vienna sausage got hard with all that man candy. So he pitched the bitch fit. Oh.
Let me say this. I do believe that they utilize, which is good marketing, to have Andrew on the show. But all of the people that we see on there, they all are messy AF. Period. Right. Every last one of them is messy. So he fit right in with the messy bunch.
Yeah. I mean,
because where the money resides, where the money
he's of a different
resides.
caliber. I do. I don't feel. I feel like he can run mess, but he wants the different level of mess. He don't want they like gutter mess. Like they want to fight. They want to throw hands. They want to. That's not Andrew. I don't. And I'm not team Andrew at all like that. But I don't believe he can run with them. I think that this is a different level. Andrew doesn't want to be on that level. Andrew thinks he's a Real Housewife. Like
Yeah,
legit.
I think so too. And you know, them housewives be talking cash shit, you know.
They talk
And
so much
that's what
stuff.
he was trying to do. That's
Yeah.
what he was trying to read. And they like, all right, you go ahead. But when we get to that house, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, all that reading is the rule.
All that reading about to stop.
Well, men ain't gonna do no bunch of talking like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, men ain't gonna too much talk. They be ready to tussle. So
I mean, y'all gotta remember they still are men, you know, nonetheless. They are. So
Yeah,
y'all
because
know
men
it's-
will fight and get over it like 5 minutes later. They could be friends again after they fight.
Yeah.
You
That's
know.
true.
Well,
and
I
be
don't know.
all
Some
right.
of them are she, so we can't, you know.
Well, no,
They
Gutter
may
K
not
was the only
have-
one that there was a question and he didn't answer. So
What did your fave say, Six? Because did she say she's both ways, or will we
She
consider
say
her they?
she didn't say what she considered. She said that she had the D, she had the P, she had the hair, the look, the all of that. She's everything in one.
she did
confirm.
because
And-
Gutter K never said that they were trans.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
They
what he
asked.
asked her.
Yeah. That's
He's
what
like,
they
what are
asked.
you? Are you trans? Are you gay? Are you bi? She was like, I'm the D, I'm the P, I'm the long hair, I'm the cuteness, I'm everything, da 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 da.
Yeah. She said they said I don't do trans. That's they did say that, and I do remember that comment. I don't do trans.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
he, she, I'm gonna call him he. It's the bad boy's house.
Well, yeah, I say he. I mean, sometimes I say she, but I don't know because she didn't clarify.
Specify. I really feel like if he wanted to go by a different pronoun, he would have specified.
Yeah, but he said
I went to his page. I went to his page, and sometimes, you know, he takes out the hair and the makeup, and he has a fade, you know.
right, and that's what he said. Sometimes he's the D, sometimes he's the P.
Yeah.
Also, he's verse.
He's
Gotcha.
verse. Yeah.
Well,
good.
it's good to know. I mean, it's definitely gonna be. I mean, it's definitely ratchet TV. If you're looking to get any knowledge or anything like that, this ain't the show for you. I'll just tell you.
Great
and you know,
ratchet
I
TV.
could have figured that because it's Zeus. That's what Zeus is known for. They produce ratchet. You know,
That's what we
bottom.
wanted, Dr. J. That's exactly what we
No,
wanted.
I didn't want that much ratchet though. I thought like Andrew would kind of, you know, Andrew's known to start stuff, but he's funny. You know what I'm saying? We laugh at Andrew because he messes up words. He has a thick tongue. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes and then he goes into like these worship things and I mean like fake tongues.
Well, I
You know what I'm
figured with
saying?
the
So he's
name like
entertaining.
Bad
But this
Boys
was
of
beyond
LA, like it was gonna
entertaining.
be like the Bad Girls Club, and if you ever watched that show, it was ratchet.
I haven't
It was
watched it,
ratchet.
so I don't know.
Bad Girls.
I never
Yeah.
watched Bad Girls Club.
It was just
Yeah.
like this. It was
Yeah,
just
it was
like
ratchet.
this.
Just the title alone would tell you what kind of show it was going to be. Because Bad Girls Club was terrible too.
Yeah.
I never watched it, so
also.
I don't have any basis to go off of. I never watched Bad Girls
That's
Club.
why
Yeah,
when Natalie was trying to say stuff to that where the money
To the money
resides,
resides, yes.
he's like, hello, that's why people know you, Natalie. Like, and he wasn't lying.
Which is cool, but just because she did it, don't mean that's the way you got to come up here and portray yourself.
But isn't she like part producer or something? Like she
She
was the
is
one who put
the
all of them
producer.
together. Okay,
She
so
is
she
the
put
producer.
and she
but
put all this together because she knew that she was going to get messy boots and high ratings and money paid. That's why she got
she
them
should
all
know she was
together.
on the Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
She was on the Bad Girls Club.
But this is what she wanted. She wanted.
Well,
the
yeah,
Bad
that's what I'm
Boys.
saying. So she should know.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna act right. Like, that's why you got all these people together.
Bodyguards.
I'm sure they sent in interview tapes or whatever, and you saw the ratchetness on the tape. That's why you picked these people.
I honestly only watched this show because Andrew was on the and then Carry On, because I ain't gonna lie, I went after his interview and all that stuff that went down with him and his father. I was like, okay, I want to see more about him because I think he's a little, touched or whatever. So I want to see more about Carry On. That's the only reason why I watched them too. The other cast members, yeah, I don't know them from a can of paint, and they weren't even really interesting. Even Milan, when he was on that House Love and Hip Hop or whatever, he wasn't interesting.
Well, for me, I just wanted to see the ratchetness. I mean, Andrew, because we know who Andrew is, and because, we know he give good, crazy shit. Okay, that was a good one, but it's not going to be that I'm not going to watch it because he's not on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm going to watch it, but it was a lot today. And maybe it's a lot because I'm doing schoolwork right now too, but it was overboard for me today.
Oh God.
Girl,
Hey, everybody
Yeah.
that's coming in. Hey, my red bear. Hey, Trouble T. For those that are joining in, we are discussing Bad Boys LA. That's on the Zeus Network. It's you have to subscribe in order to view it. We kind of decided to go live and talk about it since we were able to watch it and view it and bring y'all the tea about it. It was messy boots. It was very ratchet. And if you're looking for something that's ratchet TV, then you definitely should join in. The first episode was iconic and a lot of fighting. Now, what were you saying, Shawn? I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I would tune back in again, but I agree that this episode was a lot. They were arguing at one point. I had no idea who was arguing, what they was talking about, what was going on. I was just looking like, what in the world,
Well, I mean, they gave me what I was looking for. And I'm just disappointed that Andrew is not going to be in anymore. I don't know if they got any more clips that they're going to be showing us of him, but it looks like he's out. But I'm still here for the rest. The Gutter K is my fave. I'm interested in checking out Carry On Franklin, which is Kurt Franklin's son. I want to see what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be some mess in there because the Money Reside guy is real messy. Him and Mulan, they are messy. Them two are the messy boots in the group.
Well, maybe he'll be all right, the Money Reside dude, if he would stay sober for, not get drunk.
I don't know, girl. Next week's episode looks iconic as well. They're gonna be fighting some more between Mulan and who was the other guy they was fighting? Who was it?
Oh no, he fought. I don't know. Did he fight? Well, did he fight the Money Reside dude this week, or was that gonna be next week? I can't remember.
They got into it on this episode.
That's the clip of next week.
Oh, that was the clip of next week. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, but I know he was gonna fight him. And we didn't discuss this, but him and that dude fighting over that room. I'm like, y'all need to grow up now. This is too much.
Oh, you're talking about Mulan and the guy that was saying that
Milan, child. You calling him Milan?
Oh, you talking about Mulan or Milan? What is his name?
Milan. You was calling him Mulan, like the cartoon Milan.
Oh. Well, Anthony Uncensored,
that's him.
Him and the other guy got into it. Them two got into it. It's supposed to be next week's sneak peek. Him and the first one. Let me go to
But
him.
it seems like a lot of them getting into it has to do with sexuality.
And that's a shame.
Because they're asking the question and then they start arguing about it. And it's like, why is this even an issue?
Those two that got into it over the bedroom are both gay.
No, I'm talking about when they were at the end, when they were all talking and they were asking about, the
Well,
sexuality.
Milan is gonna want to tussle, I think, because he feels like they are disrespecting him some type of way. I was like, I got to hear more about this, Lord.
How
And
are
I'm
they
pretty sure they
disrespecting
have
him?
cut it up where it don't make sense.
Yeah.
So he feels like he's being you think that he feels like he's being disrespected?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Or he
I
feel
feel
like
that
some
way too. Yeah.
homophobia is going
Yeah.
on or something.
Okay. I guess I didn't pick up on that. I just felt like he think that just because he ripped and cut, he could just toss anybody around.
No,
And
I
he
don't
do
think
think
that.
that too, but it didn't look like he was tossing really rail around.
No.
That's all.
I think they might be editing it, and I know everybody always blame the editing, but I think they might be editing a lot of this to make it look one way when it's actually not that way.
Well, I guess we shall see, because I'm here for it. I will be tuning in next week.
Well, maybe next Sunday it won't be too overwhelming because I won't be doing school next Sunday. So maybe my mind will be more clear.
Yeah, and I would like to see, I don't mind seeing the fighting and the arguing, but I also would like them to see them do something else. Like,
Yeah, do something. They can't fight the whole time now because that's
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
not
say,
gonna
Joy,
happen.
I don't think that was just schoolwork. It was just the show. The show. it was the show. I was like, shoot. I mean, 1 second in, it was starting to fight. And then they're trying to get everybody in the screen so that the camera moving left, right.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Y'all already know I love to see something within 10 minutes, so I'll be checking out. Y'all know I got to have some kind of action within 10 minutes. I got it in the first couple of minutes.
You got
Correct.
your action.
Well, you got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Don't
I
see
think
some
you was the
tussling,
most
she
pleased.
out.
Exactly. I mean, and this was good enough for me to, and I normally don't even go back to rewatch the reality TV, but this episode, I'm gonna rewatch this one again. I definitely am.
You're gonna have to, because you gotta be able to put things together because so much was going on.
It was a lot.
Well, you got to get a chart with who's who.
Well, I'm gonna let Six rewatch it, and then if she wants to give recaps here and there, because I can't rewatch it. My nerves.
I already know.
Are you coming back? Are you gonna watch it next week?
I told y'all the two reasons why I was watching it is because of Andrew and Carry-On. Carry-On's still in there, so I'm gonna hang in for him and root for him. Lord help him, because I think they finna roast him just because of one, who his father is, and the fact that he's unsure of his sexuality. I think they're gonna play on that. I really do.
Yeah, because they actually, I don't know if it's really going this way, but they're making it look like he's flirting with Gutter.
Yes, yeah.
And
that he's unsure, like
Gutter's flirting with him, trying to get him to come out.
Yeah, because
but to me,
but
that
they
made me
showed a clip of him too getting in the brawl. I kind of want to see.
Yeah, but see his actions with that with the girl Gutter Six favorite person it made me feel uncomfortable, because I'm like, dude, either you are
felt
or you
uncomfortable.
aren't.
I did.
Either you are or you aren't, and if you're not coming across like you are not. You coming across like either you are or you unsure. Because if that would have happened to a straight dude, I'm sorry, it would have been problems.
Yeah.
Well, he could be bi. Just don't.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking he was bisexual.
So it could be that one of the three. But that was just, I was uncomfortable in that scene. And I wasn't uncomfortable because I'm uncomfortable around gay people. That's not what I'm saying. I was uncomfortable because he was
up against the wall.
Yeah, because he was uncomfortable. Like, you could tell. I was like, well, dang.
And then he grabbed his beard. He was like, okay. Gutter was straightforward. Gutter was like, okay, I'll go. And he grabbed his beard and stuff and was putting his head. I was like, okay, Gutter.
So if somebody is showing you that they're uncomfortable, that doesn't give you, you know what I'm saying? You should back off and not like
maybe that's why
that's basically him forcing himself on him, you know?
Yeah. But do you think they would have tried that with the other dude that came out?
No.
And that's my point. That's my point. He's giving off unsure energy.
Yeah. He had to. I mean, but Carry-On don't seem like he's scared to speak up for himself. If he didn't like that guy being up on him, I'm pretty sure he would have said, but he was just saying.
I think he's I don't know if conflicted is the word, but
he
He
like
comes from
Gutter.
the church. He's come from the black church.
I think he was smitten by Gutter. I really do. I think that he has a liking for it. And the way that he was looking at him when she was, when Gutter was talking to him and stuff, and he was like, why are you all up in my space? So she was like, what? It was like, if you were really adamant about don't want somebody in your space, you would have been pushed that fool right up off you. Like,
but then Gutter was wrong for being up in his face. So
Gutter
seeing
was
that
wrong.
he was uncomfortable. So
but
yeah.
Gutter likes him.
But that still don't give him the right to.
It don't.
I think Carrion is he grew up in the church. I think he hasn't probably come out in terms of, nowadays it's normal for people to come out and say what they are, say I'm not sure or whatever. I don't think he's gotten to that place in his life yet to just come out and say this is what I am. I think he's either battling it, he's not sure which way he wants to go, or he just doesn't want to make it public. He doesn't want to make it public because of who his father is, maybe, or his mother, because his mother's a minister too.
Yeah, I think that's what
I'm saying. So I think it's more complex than people really know, and I think that's why he's a little bit more reserved about it. And that's why I said I think they're going to play to that, because they interview you before you get on these reality shows, and they ask you questions, and they so they're going to use that to their advantage to pull some juice into the show.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll just have to tune in and see what ends up happening with the rest of the whole situation, and if they're going to turn it around and not make this whole season as a sexuality type of thing. That's what it started off. I get that part, but what is the whole? What's the reason for the show? Why are you calling them bad boy? What are they finna get into, and what are we gonna see? That's where it should be going. After today's episode, that's what we should be looking at. And da 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 da.
Oh man. TM Gutter.
Love it. All right, well, I guess we'll keep y'all posted. I'll be definitely tuned in next week, and we'll see if we get another panel together so we can talk about the second episode and see if they kind of give us some more additional insight as to what's going on, because it was a lot in the first episode. It was a whole bunch of fighting, a lot of name throwing and everything. They hadn't even gotten the house and got situated. So once they start getting into the house and getting situated on living together under the roof, that's going to take another turn as well. So
yeah, we shall see.
Anybody else have anything?
I need my little rosary beads, and I ain't even Catholic.
Oh my God.
It's too much. Oh, it's too much for me.
I know that's right, Dr. J.
I'm sorry, it's too much. It's too much for me, but I'm gonna try to hang in with y'all a little bit. I'm gonna try. If it's too much, I'm gonna pull a Jerron on y'all and say
I'm out.
I'm out.
Oh,
y'all cold-blooded. Anybody else got anything to add before we close it out?
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Welcome to Six's Word on the Curve, sponsored by LMTV.
What we're not doing is shutting down the curve. This is how we get the news. This is how we get the 411, the tea.